Hi everyone, thanks for joining us for the October edition of Pocono Mountains Magazine. I'm Brianna Strunk, and this is Jim Hamill. Jim, what are you doing? We have a show.
Sorry, I am so mesmerized, Brianna, by the amazing colors of the Poconos coming out right now and throughout October. We're going to be hitting peak fall foliage season soon, so all those folks who love to take photos for Instagram and everything else and post them, it's your time of the season to get out and experience the beauty of the Poconos.
This is such an amazing time of year, and we'll have more on that coming up a little later in the show. But first, let's check out how the Poconos have been making the news.
Forbes included Chef Josh Thompson of the Lodge at Woodloch in a recent article about the best chefs in the country. Thompson and his team put on a garden dinner 3 times a week, literally at the lodge's own garden. Instead of a farm to table, they take the table to the farm, and it's really good.
Also still in fashion.
According to Travel and Leisure magazine, Stroudsburg is one of the country's best small towns to retire in. The publication notes the downtown's historical architecture combines with modern amenities plus family activities. Great for when the grandkids visit.
And the fall colors mean plenty of green for the Pocono tourism industry.
WFMZ TV covered autumn in the Pocono Mountains and how it's a great season to visit, plus spoke with a local forester about the changing leaves. WFMZ also touched upon the region's high ranking in a national contest. More on that coming up.
Oh, they look great. I come down here a lot and take a walk, and it looks really improves the area.
WNEP TV featured the colorful crosswalks coming to downtown Stroudsburg. As part of a beautification project, 11 crosswalks throughout the borough are getting a splash of paint and stencil work, each with a different theme, like animals and outer space. A fun touch while strolling downtown Stroudsburg. There are so many different ways to enjoy fall foliage here in the Pocono Mountains. Take in the sights by car, chairlift, train, or trolley. You are now boarding Jim Thorpe's newest attraction.
When we discovered that they ran a trolley in the 1800s through the early 1900s, I just started dreaming about, well, wouldn't it be great to bring a trolley back?
Now you look straight ahead, you'll see the Harry Packer Mansion.
Jim Thorpe Trolley Tours offers a 1-hour narrated ride, taking you to areas that are especially scenic come autumn, like the Lehigh Gorge State Park and Maw Chunk Lake.
You can't get any better than this to really explore Jim Thorpe, and if you're outdoorsman or want to explore history, it's fantastic.
Jim Thorpe is one of the Pocono's quaint small towns, nestled among the bright, brilliant leaves. Nicknamed America's Little Switzerland, this perfectly preserved Victorian town is lined with boutique shops and eateries.
I think it's wonderful. I love the architecture. I love the way the people have decorated. It's magical. It really, really is.
Recently, the Pocono Mountains was ranked the country's 3rd best fall foliage destination in USA Today's 10 Best Reader's Choice Awards. There are plenty of ways to celebrate the season here, with activities like ziplining, horseback riding, hiking, and events like Jim Thorpe's Fall Foliage Fest.
We have street vendors and street musicians, the beautiful foliage in the area, the train and all the stores and shops are going to be open, and the restaurants. It's just an amazing way to see fall in the Poconos.
To help you plan your trip, the Pocono Mountains Visitors Bureau runs a fall foliage forecast on PoconoMountains.com. Updated every Thursday through late October, the online forecast shows when and where leaves are expected to be at their peak across the 4-county region.
There's nothing more beautiful than autumn in the Northeast. Really, it is. It's beautiful. I would recommend visiting for anybody.
Back on the trolley, riders are learning about the history of Jim Thorpe, visiting points of interest like the Old Jail Museum, the former Switchback Gravity Railroad, which helped fuel the Industrial Revolution, and the memorial where Jim Thorpe's famous namesake is laid to rest.
But I never knew like half the history that was around this area, so it's really cool.
And the trolley is dog friendly, which four-legged riders like Henry give 2 paws up. In addition to 1-hour and hop-on, hop-off tours, you can also book a pub and dinner tour or a wine tour.
Lots of options here.
In addition to the Jim Thorpe trolley tours, there's also a trolley company offering tours in and around Delaware Water Gap. That's another great place to see the fall foliage. You could plan your trip on PoconoMountains.com. For the Pocono Television Network, I'm Brianna Strunk.
What better way to take in the fall foliage than staying at the state park, the newest hotel right next door to Promised Land? That's coming up in just a bit on Pocono Mountains Magazine.
And it's the perfect time of year to have a picnic in the Poconos, and now you can leave the prep work to someone else.
2020, it was certainly challenging, but now there's light at the end of the tunnel, and that light is certainly bright.
Enjoy our world-renowned water parks, classic resorts, breathtaking views, fabulous food. 2021 has arrived. We are back better than ever. Let's enjoy it. Find your enjoyment waiting at PoconoMountains.com.
We're trying to see Chris and Molly.
Yeah, they're so busy with this magazine.
Kevin, I need you.
Yeah, Molly, it's the 3rd year and we did it.
Yeah, 3rd time's the charm. We're showing you even more great restaurants, outdoor adventures, and girls' getaways. And all the new stuff.
Yeah, new stuff.
Why not get your own copy of Pocono Mountains Magazine at PoconoMountains.com.
Hi again, it's Jim Hamill here outside Promised Land State Park, one of the many beautiful state parks in the Pocono Mountains. And of late, there's been a little bit of a changing of the guard with some of the properties near these state parks in the Pocono Mountains, including here at what's now called the Rex. A couple from Philadelphia came and renovated all 10 of these rooms to turn them into chic, boutique, beautiful places to stay. And we are here to show you what it's all about. Hope you enjoy this segment on touring the Poconos.
The way that the Rex turned out is probably better than we could have imagined. We took a 1950s motel that was really just built for the summer. Didn't really even embrace the park in the way that they knew that they could.
There they are.
They're so cute.
I mean, I think this park is beautiful. Promised Land State Park is absolutely stunning. I think that it offers so much that maybe even the locals may not even know, and how much activity it can have. There's a museum on site. There's so many trails, 50 miles of trails. We are an invisible service micro hotel, so you still have the customer service that you would experience, perhaps even more elevated through virtual and remote means. But when you arrive, we have keyless doors, so you'll receive your check-in code in advance. Everything that you could need is already in the rooms waiting for you. And if you do happen to need anything, we are a text message away.
I think the allure of the Poconos is that it has all of the traits and all of the characteristics of a picturesque mountain sort of getaway. And at the end of the day, you have a lot of old properties that haven't really been loved in a while. And so what's happening is a new generation of people that really appreciate and love the outdoors are rediscovering the Poconos and bringing in a new, I wouldn't say necessarily always a better, but a new aesthetic to reinventing the old.
We've gotten a lot of people. We expected Philly, we expected New York. I was not expecting Virginia, and I was not expecting Western Pennsylvania. But we've gotten a lot of people from those regions, all through word of mouth at this point. And so that's also another thing that I'm really appreciative, because you know that when someone's spreading the word, that they do actually genuinely enjoy their stay.
You can go into the park and hike for 50 miles right here from this trailhead that I'm standing at. And I think that's the key is, you know, we realized very, very soon that with the trailhead right here, we're able to attract somebody that really just wants to park and not touch their car and just enjoy the rooms with their kitchens and kitchenettes, and then be able to go in the park, come out, and it's a perfect weekend getaway.
This is the perfect time of year to have a picnic in the Poconos, and now thanks to a new company, you won't have to stress about planning for the occasion.
Oh, that breeze was so good. Perfect day.
Steve and Cynthia Super are celebrating their 24th wedding anniversary with a picnic at Eagles Rest Cellars. The winery, vineyard, and farm in Stroud Township overlooks the scenic Cherry Valley.
Beautiful landscaping, beautiful view. It's very romantic, you know, on your anniversary, and the setup is exquisite.
Steve organized this luxurious picnic as a surprise for Cynthia.
Oh my gosh, the atmosphere is absolutely beautiful. So peaceful. I love the Poconos anyway, so anywhere in the Poconos is beautiful.
But Steve did not arrange this alone. He worked with a company called Pocono Picnic.
It's really Picnic 2.0. It's not your grandma's picnic.
Pocono Picnic provides a hassle-free, over-the-top pop-up picnic experience. All customers have to do is show up.
Whatever it is you're celebrating, or just even a date night, we come in, we do all the setup, we organize it, we customize it for your event. We can pick up food for you, we can have food delivered for you. You spend 2 hours enjoying games, time together, time outside, and then we come in and pick it all up.
Longtime friends Lori and Jamie founded the company in July 2021. The idea was born from the COVID-19 pandemic.
We're getting a lot of calls for people that just really want to be outside. And this is perfect because you could be in a beautiful setting, but still be private.
There are different themes and color schemes to choose from, like sweet citrus, boho blue, or earth, wind, and fire. You can also select add-ons, including games, a charcuterie basket, even a pet or engagement package.
We can customize it. So for one picnic, we did this really cool scavenger hunt, and it was, they loved it. We made the scavenger hunt items all things around the birthday girl.
Lori and Jamie partner with various venues throughout the Poconos that will host your picnic. Eagles Rest Cellars is one of them.
She was looking for spaces to host these glamorous picnics, and she contacted me, and I'm just a big proponent of small businesses, helping small businesses. It can't be anything but good. So if people are having a good time and they're going home at night saying what a great day, then that's what the tourist industry is all about.
Back at their setup, the Supers are enjoying their little slice of Pocono paradise.
You know, my wife was surprised, and that's very hard to do, and I'm just looking forward to a fantastic day.
Such a unique experience. Packages start at $200, as you heard, completely customizable. You can learn more on PoconoPicnic.com. For the Pocono Television Network, I'm Brianna Strunk.
Coming up, we're celebrating our Latin cultures here in the Poconos.
I grew up here in the Poconos, and now we're covering the Poconos on PTN.
We go to all the big events, like the races.
And we visit all the small towns all across the 4 counties of the Poconos.
We know the Pocono roads and off-roads. But no matter how much we cover the Poconos,
it is really hard to keep up with these two.
Don't give up the ship!
The Pocono Television Network, everywhere you are. And it's streaming live at PoconoTelevision.com.
Hola amigos, this is Cristina Luna, and in October we continue celebrating the Hispanic Heritage Month. Here we are in beautiful downtown Strasbourg, where we have all the emblematic flags of the Hispanic countries. And I have with me my friend, a living encyclopedia, who will tell us a little bit more about our Hispanic countries. Living encyclopedia, hola.
Hola.
How many flags do we have here?
Well, we have a lot of flags. 21 represent the countries of Latin America, Hispanic countries, plus Brazil and the United States of America, which is the second country in the world for the number of Spanish-speaking people who live in it, even more than Spain.
Latin Fest was held this year for the first time at East Stroudsburg University. We met Hispanics and non-Hispanics enjoying our inclusive, colorful culture with fun, food, friends, and music.
We are from Mexico, Guadalajara, Mexico. We have a lot of Latinos in Poconos, so I love all the people.
She shares with us some things about her beloved Mexico.
We have the mariachi, we have the tequila, we have beautiful beaches, of course. We have tacos. The food is so delicious.
Next, we met with an ESU student that was having a feast of food.
I enjoy food. That's why I'm here. I got the birria street tacos. Delicious. I do like Latino food.
We also met with Kate Joano Martinez, that was with her father, Carlos.
We are Puerto Rican by nationality, yes. He's actually born there. I am not. I'm a New Yorican, but I'm Puerto Rican at heart, though, okay?
Linda is from Puerto Rico and loves that our area has a Latin festival.
It shows that they care about the culture and bringing all the Latin groups together.
There is a uniqueness in Latin culture.
We're amazing. The people, the music, the excitement, the food, and the smiles and the dancing.
Going around looking at all the beautiful Latin flags on Main Street, I walked into my friend Roy Ramos, always with his guitar. Roy Ramos, I know that you are Latin.
Hi, Christina. My family's from Puerto Rico.
But your wife is not Latin. What is her favorite thing about our Latin culture?
Well, she loves to go to festivals, like Latin Fest. We do that every year.
And I know you brought your guitar. Are you going to play something for us for Hispanic Heritage Month?
I would love to. Cumba, 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 cumbantero, cumbantero. Ay, daro, 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 lero, daro, lero.
It's all about music, food, friends. Enjoy our diversity, our diverse Latin cultures here in the area. Cristina Luna for Pocono Television Network. It's the month of Halloween and everything haunted. You won't believe the spooky history at this candle shop in the Poconos.
Hey everyone, I know you've seen me head out on some of the Pocono beverage trail to sample some brews in the Poconos, but now we're sampling some coffee and chocolate at Mocha Origin. Stick around, this stuff is amazing and it's all right here in the Poconos. We'll be right back.
Inside this 54,000 square foot building is your one-stop shop for all things motorcycles. Pocono Mountain Harley-Davidson has everything from Harley merchandise to a full custom shop where your dream ride can come to life with help from the legendary Rick Petco. Visit PoconoHD.com, where it's better in the mountains. Welcome back to Pocono Mountains Magazine. We are back in the East Stroudsburg University studio for another panel segment. This time it's on breast cancer. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Here to bring us some very important information, we have two doctors from Lehigh Valley Health Network, Dr. Krista Bott, breast surgeon, and Dr. Rachel Kinney, a medical oncologist. Thanks so much for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
So very basically, let's start with, what is breast cancer?
So breast cancer is exactly what it sounds like. It's a cancer that originates in the breast. It is the most common cancer that women get, but men can actually get breast cancer as well. The most common type of breast cancer is something called invasive ductal carcinoma, but there are multiple other subtypes.
And that is very important to mention that it can affect men too, because I think a lot of us think of breast cancer and we associate it with a woman, a female.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it is more common in women, significantly more common. But men can get breast cancer as well. So that is something for everybody to be aware of.
And what are the earliest signs and symptoms that someone usually experiences?
So the most common symptom that breast cancer presents as no symptoms at all, so most of them come up with an abnormal finding on mammogram, which is perfect. That's exactly how we want to find it, because you want to be able to find things before you can feel them, which means they're very small and hopefully early stage. But the most common symptom that people have would be a palpable mass, a new inversion of a nipple, bloody nipple discharge, or certain changes in the skin.
So definitely things to look out for. And you talk about mammograms. What is a mammogram?
So a mammogram is nothing more than an x-ray of your breast. Mammograms, you go in, it takes about 15 minutes at the most to do. And you get put in plates. Everybody knows about the plates that you get put in. Some women hate them. But they take about 15 minutes to do.
And is a mammogram something painful?
Not typically painful. Most women have no problems with them. There are some women at baseline that have very tender or sensitive breasts, and they might bother them. It's usually described as more of an uncomfortable feeling. So for those women, we usually encourage them to get their mammograms about the week after their period, when their breasts are the least tender. But most women have no problems.
So we talk about there being silent symptoms or no symptoms at all for a lot of people who are eventually diagnosed with breast cancer. So how can people be proactive? Is it this mammogram? Is this something that you have to get a prescription from a doctor or just go out on your own?
So right now the recommendations are for every woman at the age of 40 to get a mammogram every single year. So you can either go to your primary care physician or you can go to your OB-GYN to get a prescription for a mammogram, but you can actually just contact the department directly. You don't even need an order for it, and you can just set up a mammogram for yourself.
And LVHN makes it very simple for you to get checked out and get a mammogram. They have a mobile mammography coach. You might have seen it on the road while you were driving. It makes it very convenient. So if you're out at an event, this mobile mammography coach is likely at some of those events, making it very convenient and easy for you to get a mammogram. So talk a little bit about that coach. It's really a great asset for the community.
It absolutely is. Anything that can increase access for patients to get mammograms is a wonderful thing for the community. As Dr. Bott mentioned, most breast cancer presents without any signs or symptoms. So that's why screening tests are so important, so we can pick up a cancer before it actually causes clinical symptoms. Then it's an earlier stage typically, and it overall has a better prognosis.
It's definitely a great asset. So being very proactive with mammograms, making sure that nothing is irregular. But if somebody is diagnosed with breast cancer, what happens from there?
So typically they would be seen at our multidisciplinary clinic. So for newly diagnosed patients, you actually meet the surgeon, the medical oncologist, and the radiation oncologists all in the same day. It's a long day, but usually people get all of their information for their treatment plan, and then we move from there.
And then what would happen from there? Is surgery something that is a possibility for many people?
So the mainstays of breast cancer treatment include surgery, chemotherapy, which not everybody gets, endocrine therapy, which also not everybody needs, and radiation therapy.
So it really is a case-by-case basis. And each year in the United States, more than 200,000 people are diagnosed with breast cancer. That's the approximate number for new cases. Our own Jim Hamill has been affected by breast cancer in his family. His mother is a breast cancer survivor, and she wanted to share her story with you. Take a look.
Yeah, thanks, Brianna. My mom, Donna Hamill, here with me at our family home in Wayne County, and she is a breast cancer survivor. So every October, it's a great reminder for folks to head on out there and make sure that they're getting all their checkups needed, because that is what, at the end of the day, saved my mom's life. 3 years ago now you had
3 years
surgery?
ago.
Tell me about finding out about breast cancer and then the process in which you felt as though, you had beat it, and now 3 years later, you're cancer-free.
I'm cancer-free. I went for my annual mammogram. I always went, once I reached the age, and they called me back in for an ultrasound. So right away I thought, maybe, but it's happened before and it was usually just nothing much. But this time I had to wait, and then they called me back and asked me to come in so they could do a biopsy. And that scared me, but I just kept breathing and kept waiting, and my family, of course, was super supportive and waiting. But when you get that call from your surgeon, from your doctor, and saying that, yes, it is cancer, I need you to come in so we can talk about what we're going to do.
You were living proof of just catching it early enough makes a whole lot of difference on your quality of life.
Oh, definitely. Even during radiation, I had 33 radiation treatments, and even then I was tired, but I just was able to rest. My church families provided many meals, friends, so I could just rest and take care of me. I wasn't afraid, I'll admit. I really wasn't. Once in a while it would cross my mind that maybe, but I really felt very confident. My surgeon, Dr. Kelly, is amazing, and she just made me feel so confident that she had gotten it all, that she had taken care of it all. So I was able to relax and heal.
And for us, our family, it was very important to keep her because she's been great to our kids, her grandkids, and we just couldn't imagine life without her. So,
well, thank you. You're welcome, Clyde. Thank you for all your support and help through it all.
We love you dearly, and again, we really hope that everybody out there remembers this month. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and do what you can to get the message out there to get checked and then get the treatment if you are found to be with breast cancer, because you can still have a life after breast cancer.
Yep, I have a fabulous life, and it's thank you to everybody involved. So, amen.
Amen. Back to you guys.
That was an amazing story. We thank Dr. Hamill and Jim for sharing that story. And one thing that we really have to talk about is the COVID-19 pandemic. All throughout this Pocono Mountains magazine show that we've been doing for quite some time now, we have done stories about talking about not delaying care, especially for those who experience strokes or heart attacks. They're not coming to get the care they need because of the pandemic. So do you have any advice for somebody when it comes to mammograms and breast treatment amid the pandemic?
Absolutely. We have certainly seen that because of the pandemic. People have delayed getting preventative screening tests. They've delayed getting their routine medical care. And yes, in the very beginning of the pandemic, we really weren't sure what the right thing was to do. But now we know you should continue getting your screening tests without delay. We know it's important to get those screening tests on time. Now, we do know also that if you get the COVID vaccine and then you get a mammogram, there is a very small chance of that mammogram showing an enlarged lymph node, and that may be due to the vaccine. So we do recommend some separation between the vaccine and the mammogram, but even if you have gotten the vaccine and then you notice some other, abnormalities, you should not delay your medical care, especially mammograms and other things like that. So at this point, I would recommend everybody gets their screening tests on time and seek medical evaluation immediately if you notice something abnormal.
And we should reiterate that we've been doing so many stories throughout the months with Lehigh Valley Health Network, specifically Lehigh Valley Hospital Pocono, and it's very clear that patient safety and sanitation is number one.
Absolutely.
Right at the forefront.
Absolutely.
And we're talking about events as well. Every October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Lehigh Valley partners with East Stroudsburg University for the Pink Light Walk. Isn't that right?
That's right. It's a wonderful event. We've had it for years. Last year, unfortunately, it was virtual, but we're back in person this year. It's a walk that starts over here at East Stroudsburg, and then we walk. It's less than a mile or so, and we walk to the Dale and Francis Hughes Cancer Center over here. And then there's a little program with refreshments, and it's really a great time. We usually have women who dealt with breast cancer speak, and there's a bunch of information for people, but it really just brings awareness, and honestly, it just brings people together. Everybody gets a t-shirt. There's this whole flood of pink walking down the street, and it's kind of right at 6 o'clock at night, so it's right before it gets dark.
It really is an emotional experience, but you can just see how much hope is there among everybody walking.
Yeah, and we're a community here. I mean, the doctors and the patients and the support services and everybody, we get to know people. And so to see people years and years coming together for this event is really something great. And it's helpful for people actually going through it too, to talk to the women who have been through it years ago and came out fine on the other side.
You talked about the Cancer Center, which is where the walk ends.
Yes.
Talk to us a little bit about the Cancer Center and how much of a resource it is for Lehigh Valley Hospital Pocono in East Stroudsburg.
So we have the Dale and Francis Hughes Cancer Center here, and it's been a building that's been up since 2012. And it's really a state-of-the-art center. I came here because of how impressive the center was. And then a few years ago, we became part of the Lehigh Valley Cancer Institute, which brought a whole new level of things that we could do here. The multidisciplinary teams that we talked about earlier for women that are diagnosed, that's all done here. We have everything for breast cancer treatment here. You don't have to go even to the valley to get care. And just a few years ago, we became part of the Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Alliance as well. So we have Lehigh Valley and Memorial Sloan Kettering clinical trials available to our patients as well if they qualify for a clinical trial. So we really do have the big city treatments here, and we have all the services available to our patients.
That's amazing. One final question. How does someone make an appointment for a mammogram or a breast cancer consultation through Lehigh Valley Health Network? And as mentioned, everything is here at the hospital in East Stroudsburg as well. So how can someone go about that?
Yeah, so it's very simple. You can either call 888-402-LVHN, or you can go onto our website and register for a mammogram there.
Thank you so much for taking time to talk with us today about this important topic.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Once again, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's a time of hope. It's also a time to maybe check on yourself and take those proactive measures, as mentioned here, the importance of mammograms. We'll be right back.
As we have to move indoors when things get colder, you could still play golf here at one of the newest attractions in the Lake Wallenpaupack region. Stick around, that story is coming up on Pocono Mountains Magazine.
Your health has never been more important. That's why Lehigh Valley Health Network is making it easier than ever to take control with MyLVHN, your digital health partner. MyLVHN allows you to schedule appointments right from the palm of your hand, message your doctor questions, and even see an LVHN provider from the comfort of your home through video visits. With MyLVHN, you have on-demand access to your health anytime, anywhere. To learn more or to sign up, visit lvhn.org/mylvhn.
Jim Hamill here in the Pocono Mountains, the rolling hills of Wayne County, and behind me here is the barn and the manufacturing facility for Mocha Origins. They've been around for about 5 years now, making bean-to-bar chocolate as well as coffee, and we wanted to sample some of the goodness here at Mocha Origins and share that with you and tell you what they're all about. So come on in while we check out Mocha Origins here in the Poconos. Well, here we are inside Mocha Origins here just north of Honesdale, and I have some really awesome people with me and amazing chocolate as well. The kind of chocolate you can drink, the kind of chocolate you can eat, and Jeff Abella's here as well as Beth, his chocolatier. They run Mocha Origins, and we've got Kate from the Pocono Mountains Visitors Bureau with us. She's going to be sampling the chocolate with us today. Everybody, thanks for joining us here.
Absolutely. We'd rather be nowhere else. This is it.
This is your home turf. You guys make chocolate here year-round. You've been here for about 5 years. Describe to me, this is not just the kind of chocolate that you would get at the grocery checkout line necessarily. This is really high-quality chocolate sourced responsibly from locations in Africa, right?
That's right, yeah. So the whole kind of premise is to use chocolate and coffee as a way to directly trade with our farmers overseas that produce these beans, and use really chocolate and coffee as a vehicle to impact their lives. And so what we do is make bean-to-bar chocolate, where we literally go from the raw cocoa bean, we do the processing, the shelling, the stone grinding, the aging, the tempering and wrapping all here so that people can see it, but people can also get a sense of the handwork that happens 5,000 miles away in Africa where we source these beans.
And so this is something that you can find in locations throughout the country. You've got bars of chocolate, you've got drinking chocolate, you've got chocolate truffles made especially by your wife, right?
That's right, yeah. Definitely give her a shout out. We'll try them in a minute. They're phenomenal. But yeah, you can find us in about 200 plus locations across the United States. Yeah, Whole Foods and Mom's Organic Markets and places like that. It's using that moment in front of customers to tell a story about how ethical sourced beans can make better tasting chocolate and can have an effect on farmers' lives.
That's fantastic. Jeff, I've tried this before. I covet this type of stuff. It's amazing. It just comes right here in the Pocono Mountains out to the world, and we want to jump right in here because you've laid out such a great array of different chocolates for us. Please run us through, you and Beth, what we should be trying and what we should know about all this specialty chocolate.
There's not really a wrong place to start. Beth, where should we jump in?
All right, well, we could start with Uganda.
Okay.
Lately, we've been roasting it so that there's also like very juicy notes to it.
Wow.
Really good.
That is so good.
And so we use that. We have some bars that are dark bars and some that are inclusion bars, but we pair the profile of each bean from each region with the inclusions that we add to it.
When people come to our factory, we're open 7 days a week, and we do a lot of tours and tastings. First thing, we try to hit you with chocolate within a few minutes of you walking in the door. Right. And one thing we like to walk you through.
Right away.
Yeah. It's true, yeah, even before you come in, right?
Yeah.
Smells wonderful.
Yeah.
We try to have you taste, the different countries' chocolate. So when you taste the Ugandan like we just did, and now we'll try the Tanzania and Ghana, same recipe, generally the same processing steps and formulas, but it's the characteristic of the bean that tastes different, and it results in a very dramatically different tasting chocolate.
So Tanzania's next?
Let's try Tanzania. Yep,
okay, that one's right here.
And take a look at the color.
Can I get the big piece?
Absolutely. You got the big piece again. I picked you a good piece that last time around.
Interesting to note the red kind of tint to it compared to the Uganda, which had a little bit more of a darker shade.
Ooh, my.
I think of the Tans as kind of like the diva of the chocolates.
I can sense that in the flavor in my
like,
taste buds.
Yes, it really hits you up top, and if it's not roasted just right, it can be almost sour, but when you get it just right, it's just like there's this whole like roller coaster of flavor that goes on as it melts in your mouth, which makes it really exciting, and then we pair that with cherries, so it brings out even more of that juicy flavor.
I could see that tanginess being good in it. And you know what, it does have like a tiny bit of a bite, so it's that like spicy, tangy, but it's still smooth. That's what I love about all your chocolate, because I'm not a huge dark chocolate fan because of too much bite, but all of it is still so smooth.
Yeah,
It's
reduced
amazing.
bitters happen when we roast it in a certain way, and then the stone grinding, it really reduces a lot of those volatile, bitter flavors.
Well, let's sample another flavor.
Let's
Which
hit
this
it.
one down the line?
This is Ghana.
And I'll say this much too. It's not just the experience of sampling their chocolate. It's the overall like creative aspect that you put into your packaging and to just your messaging and everything else, I think that it's really resonating with people who utilize these types of things to like share with people, to give as gifts, and to have in their home.
Yeah, well, it's Beth, the team. We have an amazing team. Joe, who's behind me, making hundreds of pounds of delicious chocolate, actually illustrates all the artwork on our packaging.
Oh, wow.
Prashant, who does our social media, also does the graphic design. So it's fun working with such a dynamic team that have many different strength and qualities to jump in and be creative in that process.
Yeah.
And you're also passionate about what
Yes,
you
they
do,
are.
which really makes it more of like an experience when you come here.
We're going to say all of this we're going to get to maybe on an extended version that we can put on YouTube and social media. This is for Pocono Mountains Magazine, and we appreciate everything that you guys have shared with us today. Some of the most delicious chocolate you can find around anywhere, let alone here in the Pocono Mountains. So come check out Mocha Origins. You can find them on PoconoMountains.com. And what's your guys' website?
MochaOrigins.com.
That's easy enough.
Yeah.
Mocha Origins with a K. Check them out online and get here to their factory where they make it and where they sample it, both chocolate, coffee, and everything else under one roof. Thank you, Jeff, Beth, and Kate.
Thank you guys so much. Our pleasure.
We'll be right back after this.
St. Luke's knows that trust is the foundation of all relationships. It's earned over time. It's the type of relationship you should have with your healthcare team. While our healthcare needs are different, one thing is constant. St. Luke's is focused on building a lasting relationship with you, earning your trust and putting your well-being first. When it comes to great healthcare, trust is essential. St. Luke's, the care you trust, now more than ever.
Hey everyone, it's Jim Hamill, and last month on Pocono Mountains Magazine, we showed you how to get out on the big lake at Lake Wallenpaupack with Pocono Action Sports, and then play some golf at Paupack Hills. But as things get a little colder around the Poconos, you can head indoors here to one of the newest places along the lake. It's the Wake Zone Indoor Golf and Tap Room. Let's take a look. The Wake Zone here on Route 507 at Lake Wallenpaupack is one of the newest attractions around. And so PTN wanted to give it a test run here before the cooler weather sets in. So we have the owner, Becky Ryman, here with Wallenpaupack Brewing Company, and my buddy Josh Ans. He's a pretty good golfer too. And we're gonna try out the Wake Zone here. And one of the coolest features is that you could pick just about any golf course, famous golf course from around the world. Let's pick one out. All right, so these About Golf simulators have a lot of options to pick from. A couple of them here at the Wake Zone, you can pick from playing hockey to soccer and even dodgeball with zombies. But for today, we're gonna stick with golf, and you have 70 plus golf courses to pick from, including the Ocean Course, the Ryder Cup in '91, the links at Spanish Bay, and for today, I think we're gonna do Pebble Beach.
These are About Golf simulators. They're actually the PGA approved simulators that they use on the tours. And they are professional grade. There's apps for tracking your statistics and all sorts of bells and whistles that come along with the simulators. And you can also play some of the most amazing golf courses in the world right here in Hawley on the screen virtually.
Kim, thank you very much. We have all the drafts that you can get at Wallenpaupack Brewing right on tap, right, Becky, here at the tap room. And Josh, you got yours. This one's for Tom and Becky. And here's to a great round, everybody. Cheers. Cheers.
We do have service at the simulators for beverages, so you can enjoy our brews while you're playing and have lots of fun. We have all the equipment you need to come in and play. You're welcome to bring in your own clubs if you have those available to you. So yeah, it's really something to do for everyone. We've had all ages come in and enjoy it. I as the weather is getting colder, we've seen definitely an uptick in the number of people coming in and reserving their spots at the simulators, which has been great. I'm also looking to do some leagues for groups this winter, so you can still get your golf game in this winter when the weather's not so nice.
Well, the Wake Zone hosts numerous events throughout the season. You can rent the bays inside by the hour. Bring your friends and your family and share. Just head to thewakezone-pa.com to get all the details. Jim Hamill for the Pocono Television Network here at Lake Wallenpaupack.
It's October, the month of Halloween and everything haunted. This popular candle shop in the Poconos knows a thing or two about spooky happenings, and it's all because of what happened in the basement long ago. Zombies, skulls, and other frightening faces are all part of the guided tour you can take at Candle Shop of the Poconos in Swiftwater. But this is not your typical haunted house.
Not a Halloween boo, we're gonna scare you. It's more of a, you're gonna sense things, you're gonna feel things.
Many customers, employees, even mediums believe this place is haunted by monkeys.
They've had people scratching at them, they've had their hair being pulled at.
Built in 1897, this was originally where Dr. William Redwood Fisher lived with his wife and kids. Dr. Fisher used the basement as a biological research lab where he helped develop the life-saving yellow fever and smallpox vaccines. Across the street from his home, Dr. Fisher worked closely with Pocono Biological Laboratories. Founded by Dr. Richard Slee in 1897, Pocono Labs was created for smallpox vaccine development, and its first client was the United States Army.
And that's 300 acres that he built it on.
Back in Dr. Fisher's basement, he allegedly performed vaccine-related research on monkeys.
Occasionally he would get his hands on gorillas or chimpanzees, but because they were more costly, that's why they were not really that often in the lab. But his main source of monkeys were actually spider monkeys.
After Dr. Fisher died, his home stayed in the family for years, then eventually became an antique shop until Linda Schlier set her sights on the building in 2006.
My mom always grew up having candle shops, and she would always pass this building and she'd be like, oh, that would make a beautiful candle shop. My stepdad, Jim, actually purchased the building for her and was like, go build your candle shop, and that's how it all began.
But almost immediately, Linda experienced something terrifying.
She was up like on the mantle just dusting, and she said she heard what sounded like a bunch of animals running around the building, and she saw the dust kick up.
Linda started doing her research and learned about the building's unsettling history. In the basement, she found evidence of what took place here long ago.
Craziest part was the monkey cages downstairs when she was like, why are there cages in my basement?
Now, as part of the basement tour, you'll get up close to the original cages where Dr. Fisher kept his monkeys. You'll also see his belongings, including eyeglasses, razors, old letters, medical books, and equipment.
You see microscopes, you'll see needles from what they used to look like back then, all kinds of stuff down here.
Animal Planet even featured Linda and the Candle Shop in its show, The Haunted, which highlights true stories of animal hauntings and paranormal spirits.
People would come from all over and just be like, I want to see the building, I want to go in the attic, I want to go in the basement, I want to experience something.
Linda was in the business of scents, not scares, but she eventually decided to embrace the haunted history by offering educational tours on designated days throughout the year.
Especially right now with all the things with COVID and the vaccines, it's good to have an understanding of the evolution of vaccines and what they came from to what they are now.
Today, Dr. Fisher and his family are buried side by side in this nearby cemetery. But some say his spirit remains in the candle shop. Will you experience something paranormal? Find out on the tour.
I personally, honestly do not believe that the monkeys or any of the spirits are here to intend harm on anybody, because we're not intending harm on them.
Wow, the history of that property is so unique.
It really is, Brianna, yeah.
From haunted houses to guided ghost tours, there are plenty of seasonal activities happening in the Poconos right now. Head to PoconoMountains.com/events to find out more.
And if you scare easily, there's a lot of other family-friendly things that you can do throughout the Pocono Mountains. Find them there on our website. Follow us at Pocono TV Network on social media. That's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Pocono TV Network.
That's right. Thank you so much for joining us for this October edition of Pocono Mountains Magazine. We'll see you next time.